Excuse me.
I'll think about it in the thing. Tell me about you guys' business, what's going on so far. Tell me about loans. So, loans. Are people still coming in droves trying to get loans?
So August is usually a slow month for purchases because people are finishing their vacations.
Yep.
You know, if they didn't do them.
Or they're already
getting the kids ready for
they're already
school.
done
Yeah.
for the summer.
So September, but we're starting to see apps pick up. So September and
So
I
it's
think the
gonna be
fourth
a
quarter is going to
slow-
be
The
good.
rates are down a little bit.
And rates are down a little bit.
Do you guys do
Did you get
any?
a call from a guy? Yes.
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
That was just.
Oh. do you guys do any Colorado Enterprise Fund stuff? Do you know what that is?
I
You don't know what that is?
If I knew what it was, I would say, yeah, we did it, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, right.
I've never heard of it
exactly.
before, but I have a client, and they're doing. It's Jed.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, and I was asking him about his loan and all this stuff, and he goes, "Yeah, we're doing an SBA, and then we're doing a through the Colorado Enterprise Fund." I go, "What? What is that?" It's for veterans, and I go, "Well, what's your rate on that?" He goes, 4%. 4% is insane. And I said,
Yeah.
"I have never heard of such a thing."
That's a
I
commercial
I-
deal, right?
It's a commercial deal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
just say that's
There's
not.
tons of there's tons of those out there.
never
for,
heard of it before.
Veterans, but like Mount Carmel has a bunch of
Does it?
information. Yeah,
Well, anyway, that was wicked. I was like, man, that is amazing. I go, is that like just the
And they're
bank
long
portion?
term.
Is that the blended rate? He goes, that is the total rate.
they're way better than SBA loans.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, they work with the SBA,
Yeah,
but they're
Yeah.
establishing
But it's
the rate, and I'm like,
trust.
For the,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Well, I'm going to start I need a veteran to join me. I'm going to start a Pokemon business.
That's your guy right
Yeah,
there.
Pokemon playing
He was
cards
just talking
business.
about that.
I took my kids to there's a show over at where they do the rodeo.
Yeah.
They do it every month, and these dudes are selling Pokemon cards for $10,000.
Oh yeah.
No joke.
My son has
That's
a card that's worth
What?
like $250,000.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
He has a card that's $250,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like all in
It's a
plastic. and
holographic Charizard.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what it is.
They get rated and graded just like.
Well, you should
baseball
sell it right
cards.
away
My
because
kids
it's
sell
not
all
going to
their
go
football
up. It's going to
cards.
come
Wow.
They
down.
get graded and
I
they
don't-
put
you
them
know.
in these
But to get
plastic
these
things.
graded, it's like $100 a card.
But it's a commodity because if you
It's
could,
like-
if you get somebody that's a
Yeah, you have to get it
rookie,
graded.
He has been collecting them.
But they could take a tank for.
He has stacks of them he's never even opened.
Who's
That
this?
my son,
Oh.
when he
Yeah.
was little, he started doing it when he was like 5. So he's had these cards for decades, and he's 30. So he's had them for 25 years, and originals. So you get first generation
yeah, of
ones.
course.
He's got stacks that have never even been opened.
So you're saying they're worth some money?
Yeah.
They're worth
Oh,
a ton of
It's
money.
Right,
insane
but-
what people are paying for these things.
Right,
It's-
but they're
I
going
had
to
no
come.
idea.
I'll
They're
sell
going to
all
come
my
down
kids'
though.
shit.
Yeah. Before you take your shit to Goodwill.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Find
He's
any
got to
cards?
sell them because Rick's got a ton of Beanie Babies and
Oh
nobody
my
will
God.
buy
My
them
daughter
nowadays.
has boxes of that.
Right,
Those
nobody will
are-
buy those anymore.
Yeah.
So the
You'd be amazed what
Pokemon is
people
going
pay
to
for
collapse
online.
when the next
Yeah,
generation
and then
comes
there's
in.
another
Nobody
one
wants
called
them.
Digimon, which was like
Yep.
sort of like the stepchild
Oh,
of
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah, all
and those are
kinds
even
of
more
different-
valuable. It's insane.
What was it, VHS and Betamax to knock off, or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to tell them to sell that card and go buy a town home
House.
with it. Yes,
This-
exactly.
Yeah.
I was up in Denver and I stopped at a card place and it was only like they had a whole storefront as big as this whole office, only Pokemon cards.
What?
That was
Well,
it.
That's
Here's how I look at it. I think it's mine. I think they're my cards. I bought them.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. For Christmas.
You don't think they're mine? You don't think they're mine?
Hey, hey,
I think you cut him
Just
some
trying to
slack
get it
because
Commission.
That's
then
right.
you cut him off your purse strings. No, not that he
He's
is.
in law school right now.
Oh,
so
yeah, he's
eventually
on your
he'll-
purse strings.
Well,
He's
get
probably
him
gonna
before
sue
he
me.
graduates.
Yeah.
Sell him before he graduates.
Possession is 9.
That's right.
Okay, so I have a couple questions to ask you guys because I have a situation with a client at the top of Crystal Park. Big old 1.3.75 house that I'm trying to sell up there. The client calls me and goes, "Rob, we've only had 2 showings. I need to get more showings." So I want you to lower the price to $600,000
What?
and get as many people in the door and have like a bidding war. And that's how I want to sell my house.
Wow.
He needs to stop watching HGTV.
Wait, but hold on. But you know, people do auction properties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, well, are you willing to take
That's a 500.
75% of the value? Because that's what you'll get in a typical auction, right? So whatever 75% of 1.375 would be. He's like, well, no, I don't want to take that much less. I mean, I might take 1.3 or something like that. So he goes, well, I think I still want to do it. We'll just won't sell it unless it gets up to at least 1.3.
That's ridiculous.
So now I have to just figure out. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'll present this to my agents at Roundtable, and we'll see if this would be a viable thing. But as I was thinking about it, I'm thinking, if I put $600,000 on the MLS, I'm going to get a ton of $600,000 qualified people. Nobody's not going to. The
Nobody-
1.375 is not going to be running up there.
That's
You know,
right.
the $1.5 million qualified person.
I agree.
So all of a sudden I'll have 100 people up there, and then they're going to be really angry at me, and I'm going to be spending money and
It's gonna
energy.
be like, man, I offered $650 and you turned it down.
And
it's
what are they-
still
Right,
on
I
the
offered
market.
800,
And it's still
and
on
you
the
turn it down.
market,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It makes you look like you don't know anything.
Uh-huh.
Like you're not good.
I would just suggest auction. Do an
Can you
auction.
get stung for an ethics violation for that?
No, on the MLS, the banks used to put $1,
Yeah.
and then they would have an auction.
For auctions.
But that's why you
if
only
this
get
is not
75%
an
of the
auction,
price.
Did they
you
have
listed it for
reserves?
600.
Well, it would be,
Sometimes.
yeah, they all had reserves. Yeah, and they would say all bids must be in by, like I could put in there 600,000 and say all bids must be in by,
But what
whatever.
what most of them did, they listed on MLS as an auction property for $1, but you go to the auction site, there was a minimum bid, a starting bid.
right. So what if I did something like, tell me what you think about this? Because the other angle is, how do I look really good in front of my sellers and bite the bullet, and maybe something would come out of it? Because getting people to the door of this house is a really beautiful property.
But it's a mountain drive, it's half an hour
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah, it's up
From
the
the bottom.
mountain,
From
right?
the bottom.
So
Really?
what other people do, like wholesalers?
Do not ride your brake all the way down.
Wholesalers, what they do is they get a property under contract. Let's say it's a $500,000 property ARV, and they got it under contract for 300, right? They'll put out there the marketing saying this house bidding starts at 3.25, so they're putting 25 grand on for them. And we have an open house on Saturday for everybody to see it. We close the bids at a certain date, 3 days later or whatever. So everybody runs and sees it. Now you have 100 people looking at it, but then it bids up from there. Now they don't have to sell it if the bids don't come in at the right price. Would it be worth putting something on the MLS at 600 grand saying, Saturday, everybody can come look at this house, and then there's 100 people there looking at it, and then all offers must be in by next week, and if it doesn't, he doesn't have to sell it if it doesn't meet a reserve.
Yeah.
Do you have to list it differently in the MLS? Is there a
I don't know, I have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why be less than 50% of what the guy wants?
Yeah, why does he want to
if
come so
maybe
low?
He wants
started
a
at
bunch of people to
800.
look at it. He thinks if they look at it, they're gonna buy it.
Well, the thing
But if
is
they can't,
that if
Yeah.
you,
they call
I
dudes
mean,
like us
and
and go.
That's,
"Sorry."
I think, the conversation
I can
I would
walk
have
money
is
and
like,
shit the other
there's a
way.
lot of people that can afford 600,000. So you might have a lot of people
Yeah,
here,
you're-
but
you're-
the
you're-
vast majority of those people can't afford to buy your house.
But here's the thing.
But
Just
they're
start
gonna
the
see,
reserve
though,
at
that-
800.
That,
And
it's
go
like you're
up
looking for
from
your
there.
keys where the light's best, not where you lost it.
Yeah, right.
but if you have a
Yeah.
disclaimer that there is a reserve on this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna be able to see that it was listed at 1.375, because everybody's gonna look at the history.
But you're gonna get the buyer that sees it on Realtor.com or
I know.
Zillow says, "Oh man,
We've gotta see
I
that
want to see
property.
this tomorrow."
Right.
And then the agent, I mean, I had 4 buyers look at my property, that my 250 junker.
Yeah.
I had one FHA offer, and I went, this won't go FHA. I mean, I can get you a $1.3 million house for $600,000 before that.
Yeah, right,
It was like,
exactly.
what is wrong with you? I had people saying, well, they're going FHA, they're going VA, it'll never work. And I'm like, well, why did you show it to them? Because it said cash. There's one picture.
Uh-huh.
Home needs work. And
VA
but
rental
but
loans.
the bottom line
2
is,
or 3 kids.
the agent didn't say, Mr. Buyer, let's go look at this house. The buyer said, Mr. Agent, let's go look at this house.
Right.
And that's what's gonna happen. They're not gonna see all that information, and they're just gonna, and sometimes the
But
agent
what if
will
there
read
was
it, and
a-
sometimes they won't.
What if I put together like a rules sheet, like, you know, or like a disclaimer sheet?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people will pay attention to that?
Yeah.
You know how many people will pay attention to that though?
I don't care. I would look so good to my client.
Yeah.
I've had
Having
people
100
ask
people
me
through the
for
door, and then
documents
I could get them down
that
to $1
was
million
published on the
dollars
MLS.
if I can't get it
I would
sold.
tell them though, like, pick
That
your
agents asked me
absolute
for
bare minimum and
documents
then
that I
go
had
100
published
grand
on the
under that.
MLS.
Oh, really?
Where you just click on that little document link,
Because
and
that,
there's the,
I think if you go to
the minutes
600K,
for
you're
the
gonna
HOA
you're gonna
meetings,
run
stuff
into
like
some
that. I'm
problems.
like, hey, I never got that.
Yeah.
I go, what's on MLS?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It's a waste
do
of
it.
time. I think it's a waste
I'll
of
send
time.
it to you.
Have 100 people come through, but how
Yeah,
many will
for
be
sure.
unattached boxes?
Okay, well,
Not
now,
very many.
so now let me tell you the second part of that. So I understand what you guys are saying. It might be just a waste of time. But at the same time, I'm trying to think outside the box, and he's trying to think. Everybody's
Yeah,
trying to think
yeah.
outside. We can't sell crap. And if it somehow worked or whatever, then I would do other properties like that. So Heritage Title was in here. Oh, I can't remember her name.
Karen,
Karen was in here today, and she said, "Hey, Rob, we're doing this thing where we get a bunch of realtors together. It's a collaboration group, and they go look at a luxury property,
Caravan.
and you give something away. You know, they do a reel on the property, and everybody has to do a reel to be qualified. And you know, you draw a name and give them $500, whatever. We did it one time last month, and there was 15 realtors that went in, and they sold the house within a week after that. Well,
Right.
it's probably luck that the house sold, but she is claiming, hey, it was kind of good that 15 realtors did reels and stuck them out there, and then they got a bunch of sponsors that also did some sponsoring of the event. And she goes, our next one is on the 20th at the top of Crystal Park. Well, that's where I have that other property.
yeah.
Right.
So,
You're gonna be out there
Kill two
flagging.
birds
you
so,
know?
so what she's
Yeah.
gonna do,
I would do that one either way.
but how many realtors really go? Like, I never go to those events. You know why? I'm so busy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
The
people
realtors
usually
that
aren't
do
busy.
go, they're
not
probably
busy.
not
Beautiful
busy,
house,
That's
dude.
right.
and they
But
get to go
if they
see
have
luck.
that buyer pool, they may not be that busy, but if they have that buyer pool, I
Who
think
knows?
for Sharice
I-
Selly, I mean, that was a $3 million
But did-
place.
But did
every-
Cherie Selly?
They
Oh,
weren't
it was
even giving
hers.
anything away. They were. I mean, I handed out some shit flyers, but they had every high-end agent come to that. I mean, every platinum group, every elite.
They did. They had good people
It
come.
was a huge turnout. Yeah, there was 60 agents that came through there.
What'd they do?
Really? What? And she gave away nothing.
Gave away.
They just came for
Just broke her up
Cherie
in house.
Selly.
She did some marketing though. She definitely.
She does. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, so
But same thing. Like if you're doing that, and then like a week later you do something to piggyback off of that.
your thing, you're saying it would be more. There'd be more value in doing that on the 20th than doing like the auction thing.
You'll
Yeah.
spin your wheels a lot and probably pissing people off with that auction.
I
Would be
know.
my guess. Over
That
because
What
the
about-
ultimate goal is to sell it, right?
What about just doing an auction with a reserve?
He doesn't
Hey,
want to
Scott,
take 75%
did you have
less.
people show up at your broker open?
But he wants to market it
Not a single
start
person?
50% less.
See, I had not a single person show up at mine either.
But what do you give
And
away?
offered to give away $100
But sure he's
So you're giving
selling.
away $100.
Yeah.
So we used to cater them. I mean, when
Had
we were doing
donuts and
Remax
coffee
stuff,
and give away
we got-
$100 if
Yeah.
you take a reel of the house and put it on social
Well, I
media.
even said if you can't come, just send me an analysis of it, and I'll give you $50.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
nobody sent me an analysis either.
Send you an
I sent
analysis,
it to
but I got
100
so
agents.
busy.
To
I
100
just
agents. I
And
didn't
not
get
a
a single
could
thing.
not
You know
do
what?
it.
Wow, that's crazy.
So how
Oh,
far
yeah.
up is
So
that?
does that- are you
Regardless
still
They're
of-
on
not
the Elite
working. They're all
25
sitting around on the
No,
side. I
I
was
quit.
like, oh, I hope the market picks up.
Yeah.
Most of
So
them.
that's where
Yeah.
the benefit of something like that comes
Well,
in,
all
right?
the
Because
agents
then
I
you're
have
calling
talked
all those
to-
guys.
No, but they don't want to
Be
come to all that.
25
I could call them
agents,
anyway.
probably 50 of
They don't
them.
want to, they won't want to come.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them even to the Elite
Any agent
25.
I've ever worked with, I got in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Was that, who was the one that just said that the house sold in a week? Was that you? Or
'Cause I
Yeah,
thought for sure if
Karen
nothing
was
else,
telling
I'd
me
get
that the first
agents
one
that
that they
hadn't made
did.
Was
no
it
money
Tammy
all year
Whalen? Was the
long
agent?
that
Yes.
wouldn't come to try to win $100, but no.
Nothing.
But I don't
Nobody.
think it was the
King's Deer.
agents.
It was King's Deer, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it
I
was
don't
King's
think
Deer.
it was the agent that brought the offer to that. Was probably not the
But if they're
25
pushing
agents
it
that
out
showed
on
up.
their
100%
social
it wasn't. It
media
was the
and all that.
title rep.
Yeah.
Because the title rep is out meeting agents all day, every day. That's all they do.
Mhm.
So they're the ones that have those relationships. So if you do something like that, you want to definitely
So
want
instead
the
of
title
doing
rep.
the auction, have the title rep get this thing together. She's
Hell
literally
yes.
going to get a sponsor to rent a Sprinter van to drive all the way to the top.
Rory's out, right? So
Yep.
Rory's out. So
So get them
get her
do
to leverage
something.
that. I'm
You
just
know what
saying.
I used to tell my loan officers, and I will do any marketing as long as I don't have to do anything. So if you get a title rep, getting vans and getting
Yeah,
people
right,
together,
yeah.
and all you gotta do is just show up at the house.
Well,
and
I'll probably do a $500 gift or something like that.
Wow.
So,
just give away like a Traeger. or
I don't even
something.
think you need
Cost
to.
you
well, the other
$350.
girl up there that's doing her house,
Your pen sets are.
she
$15.
is giving away a plane ride because she owns a plane.
Who
A
was?
2-hour plane ride. Some lady that they're doing the next event on
Free
the
hugs.
20th at Crystal Park.
Yeah.
She's giving a plane ride because she owns a plane.
Well,
For
her
a
son might
2-hour
be the
plane
pilot.
ride.
Some 15-year-old. I would be.
I know, I would be
ain't
scared
doing
too.
it. Hell no.
Yeah, just because you own a plane,
Yeah,
I don't
that don't
know.
mean
That's
you
a
know
little
what you're
scary.
doing.
Exactly. But
It's like
she's-
people that own guns. You don't.
Yeah, it's like
Not everybody.
she
knows.
said the other.
Yeah, so I'm an apprentice knife thrower. I will throw knives at you for free.
So yeah, that's
It's a new
okay.
hobby of mine.
Do you do anything
sorry.
for? I'm trying to think. What's her name? Rachel Buller or something like that. When you reach out to someone like those Manitou locals.
No, heck no. They try to blacklist
They-
me every time I get a listing over there.
That's what I mean.
Who does?
So if you reach
All
out
the
to
people,
those-
Rachel Bowler and those guys over there in
That's how it is
Manitou.
in Woodland Park. Oh, he's
They always tell
he's a
everybody,
downtown
they
agent.
tell the clients,
I
if
worked
you
up
don't
there
work
for
with a
3 years.
Manitou
They are
agent,
definitely
Wow.
that way up there.
well, you'll be blacklisted and you won't be able
I
to sell
tell
your
people
house.
I'm not a downtown
Which
agent.
happens.
I've lost multiple listings by them, but I've still sold a ton over there too. But
Yeah.
when I lose one, I really get pissed off because they do that.
They come
So
in
is
and
it-
tell the seller, like, we're gonna
Oh, yeah.
blacklist your house if you don't list with us.
Yeah, they basically because they only.
That would piss me off. I would
You know
never
what?
use them.
No, I wouldn't either.
Right.
So what
I'm
about
gonna write a letter.
switching
You know,
that? I mean,
that's
that's the way it works.
highly
man. That's
illegal.
territory.
Well, I don't know
Small
who it
town.
is
Yeah,
that
that's
does
small
it,
town.
but they're a small
Yeah.
town. They're sitting in coffee shops and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and somebody about you. Oh yeah, I'm selling my house, and oh really? I can help you, and oh well, I got this agent. Well, who's the agent? Oh yeah, it's Colorado Springs Realtor. I wouldn't use Colorado Springs. You're going to be blacklisted.
But
No
we
one
say
will
the
buy your
same
house.
thing about
right? And they
Denver
just say
agents.
that
Yeah, but we're in the
without
same market,
sign
though.
crossing.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
Here's what I tell a prospective Manitou client. Well, my sidekick told me,
Yeah, it is.
oh my God, is it the same one as me? I think so. And then I'm in.
But what about offering those guys an incentive? If you went through and said, "Hey, we're giving an extra 10 grand to
No.
to bring your people up there,"
I don't know. I mean, to me, they don't have. I feel like there's a lot of Colorado Springs realtors that still sell over there,
yeah,
and
Well, Manitou
it's not
is still-
just.
I mean, Manitou's not like Woodland Park. Manitou's not separated from Colorado Springs. It's like if you're a Denver
Right,
agent,
yeah.
you're still going to get that listing in Lakewood. right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, he's a Denver agent. I'm looking for a Lakewood agent, right? Manitou.
Yeah, exactly.
You're driving in old Colorado City, and you're in Manitou, and you're like, oh, I guess I'm in Manitou, right?
Right.
It's not like it's a separated town. It's part of our.
Yeah.
Right, but they try to make it a separated
try.
in the
Definitely.
coffee shops.
Yeah.
And you know, so I don't think it really works for them all that. But even though I've lost listings up there, yeah, and same with Woodland Park, same
Yeah.
with all that stuff like
But
that.
that's a little more separated. That's
yeah.
separated. It's not a suburb. I mean,
But I'm just thinking, how do I get more traffic to that
how
property?
far is it from the?
And if
the
it
guard
comes
shop?
out of sale, great, but it's probably like a 5% chance, 95% chance that nothing will happen. But at least it'll show that I'm trying to do
Yeah.
something.
I would definitely do the title company tour. That
Okay, okay, I'll
See,
jump with that.
I think the problem with listing it at 50 cents on the dollar or less,
Yeah.
you're not going to get a $1.3 million buyer isn't going to look at a $600,000 home. It's like, I want to buy a Corvette, but first, there's an old Grim one I'm going to drive first, right? No one does that. So I think,
But what's amazing is the banks, when they would do the $1 listing.
but we knew what that was, though. That was an auction.
And it was the agent who was telling him about it.
Yeah, but they were still in
weren't sitting
reserve.
on Zillow.
But there's still a reserve.
Right, and it could be,
But that
and
was
sometimes it wouldn't go, and
that
then it
was
would
an
come
auction.
out at a. I mean, I'm thinking there's got to be a way.
How
That
long
we
has it
can
been
do
on the
something.
market?
40 days or something.
What if you did that thing where you withdraw it? I think it has to be withdrawn for at least a day. I don't know if PPR fixed it. But like when you withdraw it for at least a day, then you put it back on the market. All the third-party sites show it as like 1 day on the market, and then pull a Barb Schlinker, and then block all the showings, and then just have like a 1 hour open house like a week or two later, and then that way like everybody's there at once. And so like sometimes I have
Oh, yeah,
clients
yeah,
they
yeah.
go to one of like Barb's open houses, and like nobody can see the place for like a week or 2 weeks, and they show up and there's like 10 or 15 people there. I'm like, oh, we gotta put in an offer in right now, there's so much competition. And I'm like, no, like this is what happened, like let's just wait
Wow,
and see.
Dapper Dan.
And anyway, so it gets people excited because they see all the people there, and it could backfire because she tried to do that on a house that we were lowballing, and we just waited until like a week after her open house. It didn't work, and then we lowball her, and it worked.
Okay, so
But-
what you're saying is you remove from the market temporarily, like withdrawn.
Withdraw, so it's still
Withdraw,
active
so it's still
listing.
up.
Yeah.
And then you change the verbiage in the listing to say, we'll take all, let's see, what will,
So
Okay,
so
you
if
withdraw it, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you
Put it back on Wednesday, but
Uh-huh.
you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday blocked completely off. No agent
No
can go
showings.
show it until after your big open
and do a
house or
big
whatever
open house
thing
on
that you're
Saturday.
doing on Saturday.
yeah.
You
and
know
you
what
can
I
do
mean?
that even though it's been on the market 40 days?
Yeah, so essentially, like,
Yeah,
what I
they've been
do is
able
I
to
just
do that.
have, like, the seller send me something in writing saying, oh, hey, we need to do some work, so we just want to go ahead and just withdraw it, or, like, some, that
Yeah,
way in case
withdraw it
PPR is
temporarily
like,
for
what are
a
you
week.
doing, right?
We'll just do
And-
amend, extend.
Yeah. And then so what happens is, like, the days on market are still going to be the same on the MLS.
Yeah.
But all the third-party sites, once it goes back up, it'll show up as 1 day on the market.
So
'Cause it
Zillow and
resets the-
Realtor.com and everything will show 1 day on the market?
Yeah.
But Zillow, usually people can go and see the days on market?
If they go and look at the history, it'll show
It'll
it.
show it.
But
So that's the very
the
bottom.
superficial front value, it because people usually look at, like, the new listings. I don't know if they fixed it at all. It's been about a year or so since I've done it.
Man, that is such a genius.
But you're not tricking any realtors on that usually.
Well,
No, but you're tricking
most
the
of 'em.
public to
Yeah.
come see the property. You're saying, come and see this property, or nobody, we're gonna have a special event or whatever.
Is this rolling?
Yeah?
I just don't know that we should be rolling over.
Tricky.
Well, here's how you trick the public.
Oh, this only goes to us anyway. No, this is a round table. This is,
But
we're
even if
trying
you-
to sell.
Especially if you're dropping the price down to do like the auction thing, I mean, that could really
We're doing
potentially benefit you.
sales. We're trying to
For
get
it to
people
look
to
like a new
buy
one.
houses. And we gotta figure out how to get out
Nobody-
there.
Yeah, and then nobody
know?
has any other way to see it other than their first opportunity is your
Mhm.
big deal, your open house thing.
Huh.
Every time I go to a Barb Schlenker open house, there's like 20 people there.
Yeah.
You know, people are all.
That's crazy. How is
Because
she
she's
doing
got the
that?
buyers.
Because she
Yeah.
blocks
the
it
show.
and
Blocks
says
the showings
you can only
off.
see it at the open house.
Oh
There's no
my
showings.
goodness, we gotta
And so
start
the only
doing
way you
stuff
can
like
see
that.
it is to go to the open house.
Wow, that's
So,
interesting. I did not know that.
She's been
That's
doing that
actually
for
pretty
years.
smart.
It pisses me
You
off.
see her?
Yeah, it's super annoying.
Yeah.
Well, it's annoying, but she's selling houses
She
that
sells a
way.
lot
Well,
of houses.
Yeah.
It just depends on, like, it works on like the nice houses that are priced really well. But like I did an open house for her a couple weekends ago,
Uh-huh.
and she's like, "Why do you kill yourself with like those 3-hour open houses?" You know, because I do like long ones.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, because like for me it helps me pick up buyers because instead of having 20 people in an hour, I can't build a connection with them.
Yeah.
But like, you know, 5 or 10 people over 3 hours, like I can actually have a conversation with them. But anyways, her open houses are geared just 100% towards selling and not picking anybody up.
Okay.
But like it can backfire too. Like if you just, the dangerous thing is, well, I mean, like with a listing like that, a $1.3 million listing, you're not going to have like a ton of showings.
Yeah,
anyway.
sure.
But
But a normal house, like one of our townhomes or something that we can't sell.
Well, I
Yeah.
think she also uses it as a pricing strategy too. So if she's priced at a certain point, she has 20 people come through it on a weekend, and nobody submits an offer, then she can go to her seller and be like,
Now we need
I
to
had
lower 20
people go
grand.
through, we need to lower it, you know.
How long does she do it for? An hour?
an hour, yeah.
Just 1 hour?
But also like,
Wow, that's pretty. You know,
Yeah.
20 because you have to have those people there at the exact same time.
Right, and then they all feel like, hey, they're making an offer. They might
Yes,
make an offer, you
wow,
know.
that's
They feel like there's a
interesting.
lot of competition.
I wouldn't want to be too much like Barb though, because apparently like everybody hates her to the point where she had to leave PPAR or just decided to leave PPAR.
All
for,
of her
like,
stuff
one
is
of
listed.
She's out of
on,
Yeah.
PPR now?
Yeah, she lists all of her stuff on that state. What is it called? State MLS.
Yeah, like the
or-
state MLS, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like she does things a little bit differently, but like I guess everybody complains, and then the MLS started getting on her, and
Really?
I noticed
Yeah.
that there's a lot of Denver agents that aren't participating in PPA.
Because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, but then I look like an idiot when my clients call and go, "Hey, can I look at this property?" I'm like, "Shit, I don't see this thing anywhere on MLS."
Oh yeah, I
And
just
it's-
So you
go
gotta
on
go to
Zillow and find it.
realtor.com.
Yeah, so I'm going to a third-party website for I'm
Denver
paying
agents will list,
$800 a year to be
people will list
a licensed
in Denver
MLS user.
for their Colorado
Yeah,
Springs
but
house.
they list it in already
it's like,
Colorado and it goes out to
why would
Zillow.
you-
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But it's garbage that
Mhm.
you. Well, I mean, it's always been garbage, right? You guys have the information, but anybody can get in and use it. It's
What do you guys
the
tell
dumbest.
people? Be like, guess what? This is on
That's
RE Colorado.
interesting.
I bet they've had like 1/4 of the showings they should have had because a lot of people don't know to look for it there, and they just
But
are
if everyone's
completely
on
confused.
I don't
Zillow
think
and
any of that's true
Realtor.com.
because the client is the one who picks the houses now. The
I was
agent-
just gonna say,
agent
the
doesn't
shift
pick
is
the houses.
changed. It's
I
not-
literally
Right,
do
right.
not pick any houses for my clients. They just say, I want to see this one, this one, this one. It's like, great, let me schedule it. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Because you set them up on the search, and they're like, "Why didn't?"
Right.
I started telling people like, "Hey, you're on this search, but I got to tell you, you're gonna don't think I'm an idiot by not sending you these listings that you see. But here's how it works: these Denver agents don't use our MLS,
right.
so you're gonna get a ton of stuff from Zillow and Real whatever you search.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Okay.
get a ton of stuff I didn't send you
That's why I
because
also.
of this. And so, just if you see something, call me and we'll go
Yeah.
set up a show.
Well,
Wow.
I set up all my people on Bold Trails property alerts instead of the MLS because I am connected to RE Colorado and PPAR and the Denver MLS on there, and so it sends
So
them
Bold
everything.
Trail will
So
do
what
all
you're
that.
telling me
Yeah,
is
cool.
PPR is becoming obsolete.
Well,
a
they're
very
not,
expensive obsolete.
well, they're not being obsolete because they hold the data. You know, somebody has to hold the data because all these third parties are getting it from somewhere.
But they're getting it from RE Colorado, where you don't have to. be-
RE Colorado.
So a bunch of my agents
Oh,
in
right.
Denver, they're like, "Yeah, we're not gonna join. We're not gonna pay our realtor dues. We're gonna be licensed agents, but we're not gonna be a realtor."
Right, exactly.
And so they're like, "Why would I pay for this when everybody can get on
RE Colorado.
You do everything like RE Colorado
Holy
and not ever have
crap.
to use. What is
That reminds me of a letter that I got.
I don't even use the MLS to look unless it's for something like specific, like assumables. Like you have to use the MLS. A lot of like fourplexes, things like that.
So I'm curious.
But
what you
other than
guys
that,
use.
I mean, somebody like, hey, listen, like you can use Realtor.com, Zillow, but what happens is if we're looking just on the MLS, there's a bunch of RE Colorado listings that won't show up.
Yeah,
So I'm like, hey, just use Zillow. It's easier. They suck. They're terrible people, but they have a really good interface, and it's
Yeah.
a lot easier. Like I want to kill myself every time I try to search for things on the MLS.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you click on a house
That's
and
pain
you got to
in
go
the-
back 3 tabs and then do it again.
In the dick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like the MLS because you can get more granular in the searches.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
on Zillow is very like, you just want
Yeah.
baths, price. You know, but if somebody's like, well, I want this specific thing,
Price per square
you,
foot.
Yeah.
you can only do that on the MLS. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, what's interesting is that everybody's vying for position to be the next MLS because they
Right.
see the impending doom of PPAR or the MLS at some point. So you have all these people, and I get this letter from Homes.com, 2 pages, nice envelope, yesterday, and they're basically saying, when I read it, I was like, Dear Rob, last week Zillow began using the market power it has been accumulating to take greater control of your listings. Betting homeowners will choose exposure on Zillow over loyalty to you, their trusted agent. So this entire thing is about Zillow, how horrible they are, from Homes.com, that they're trying to basically, what's it say?
They're spending a ton of money on marketing.
They spent $1 billion last year trying to compete with
Yeah.
Zillow,
Yeah.
and they didn't even make a dent.
And Homes
Yeah.
going,
But they're
Well,
advertising.
so this is
that-
they're doing it
CoStar.
much better than we're doing it.
Yeah,
'Cause we
but they're
wanna do the same
advertising
thing.
getting the prospective people back to you as a listing agent.
So they're trying to get me to,
Homes.com
uh,
also, you can upload your entire database to Homes.com and they'll retarget all those people for you.
yeah, that's all great.
what they're saying is Zillow's,
Yeah, right. I mean,
They're
it goes
saying-
back to you,
Yeah.
but I mean,
listen,
other
they're
than that, you
saying
gotta set
that
up your own ads, you
Zillow,
gotta do your own thing, and that's a pain in the ass. So,
Zillow sends hundreds of millions of marketing emails to homeowners. One is titled "Helping You Sell for More." When homeowners click, Zillow encourages to sell on their own. Advertise your listing for free and avoid paying a listing agent commission. Right? That's pretty interesting. So they're sitting there telling us all this stuff, right? And then they're saying, they're
Right,
basically
they're
saying,
doing the same
we at
exact thing.
CoStar are the, best, most friendly listing service, and we own Homes.com, and we want to help you, blah 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 blah, right? And so they're trying to act like they're on our side, but at the same time, their salesperson, when they called me, were like, Rob, we're trying to take over the MLS. That's basically what they said.
Well,
They
what's-
want to be the next
what's
MLS.
really hard for all of those sites is we use the MLS, and so Zillow and Homes.com and all those people pull all their information from the MLS. But if the MLS starts going down, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to list on Zillow, or I'm going to list it on Homes.com. Well, then it's only on Zillow. It doesn't get distributed to the other sites. So
That's why people won't click that button to not allow your listings to push out to other.
Oh
sites.
yeah, right,
Because
exactly.
if you don't do that, then you don't push it to Zillow.
But you have to
don't
do
because
push
that.
it.
as the
You have to.
agent, you'll have to manually put in every single site, because they're not pulling from each other because they're competing with each other,
Yeah.
So if you post it on Zillow, Homes.com is not going to go, hey Zillow, give me your data feed, and same the other way. So then you're gonna, as the agent, you're gonna have to be like, okay, hey, I put your house on Zillow.com, and I put it on Homes.com, I put it on Realtor.com. And they're like, well, what about the other 1,000 sites? Well, I can't put it on 1,000 sites. I can
Yeah.
put it on the 3 biggest ones.
Yeah.
But right now we can put it on the MLS, which then all the sites pick up.
Right.
So that's
Even all the realtor sites. Like
Right.
there is thousands
so
of
that's,
sites.
that's the
Yeah.
power of the MLS right now is everybody's getting their data.
That's the main gathering point.
So CoStar just called me a couple days ago and said, hey, we're starting a new program and we'd like to introduce you to it. I'm really good at saying no. but this one intrigued me. He goes, we have proprietary loan information on buildings that are owned by specific people in your market. And if you're armed with what someone's mortgage is and their payments are, and the loan terms, how are they getting that? And why are they able to distribute that? Isn't that kind of like, I don't know, that seems a little proprietary. Like he goes, yeah, this is kind of proprietary information that we can give you. And I'm like, okay.
But you find it on, for
County records.
county records.
No.
You can't find
We do.
terms or anything.
You can
find-
not
you can
terms.
find like the initial
Yeah.
terms, but you
Not
don't know
on the
where they're
current.
at in the process.
Sure.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
So
Right, yeah.
I'm like, okay. I mean, because
Well, they might be pulling it because all these sites are now coming up with like your home portal where
Well,
you
so
put in all
realtor-
your information and you'll say
Yeah.
I bought the house at this time, my interest rate is this, because you want to get updates of the value of the house, and they'll send you emails on you can refinance or whatever. So maybe they're pulling a bunch of data.
Wow.
They're asking people
So I
to
use
put their
HomeBot.
information in
HomeBot.
and then they're selling it.
They partnered
Wow.
with somebody that's doing all of that.
I just think it's a little sketchy. Honestly, I kind of do. But
Rocket and Mr. Cooper and that whole conglomerate. I mean, we're all obsolete. Mortgage, real estate.
We're all obsolete.
I mean, really, for our cost and premium, we're all obsolete. There's no reason. Like, I have to cut our premiums almost in half from where I was 10 years ago just to compete with brokers.
I think we're becoming more obsolete because of like everybody in the industry is kind of just giving into like the convenience. Like you guys were talking about, like, well, there's a big risk in potential buyers not seeing our homes that we have listed if we don't share to Zillow.
Right.
At the same time, you're
Right.
never going to get that same client again if you have it on Zillow, because they're going to market to them way better than you have the ability to. So I mean, the more that people use these tools that are trying to work us out of the industry, the more that they're going to have more control in the first
It's
place.
just like shopping with Amazon. I need a hot tub
convenience.
filter.
Yeah, well, I think our
I don't need a hot tub filter now.
You're right, yeah,
Or
exactly.
I think
today.
we come in as more of the project manager side, of like, hey, any person can go sell their house on their own if they want. They can post on Zillow or whatever,
That's right.
but they come to you because you're going to have the expertise of, well, I can put on the MLS, which then distributes it. I can get the professional photos. I can get all the vendors in
Yeah.
to kind of fix up your house and all that stuff. And that would take them,
What do we do? How do we do
a
this?
long time to figure out on their own. And you're just a one-stop shop. So I think that's where we kind of morphed into. We've always been that, but that's where our value is now that people see.
It's hard, yeah, because you even said earlier, like, we're not even selecting the houses for clients anymore. They're finding it for themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, calling yourself a project manager is probably pretty accurate, because right now you're just facilitating the control of all these tools that are marketing to your clients already anyway. Like,
Right.
it's hard.
Right.
People see that, but I don't know if you guys saw, like, last year, because like there was a lot of people in the previous year that sold their home through Zillow. There was some study, I forgot who did it, who knows how true it is, but they said that on average, when people list their home with Zillow, and like they miss out on the same amount of money as for sale by owners anyway. Like, it's on average like 40 grand because there's no negotiating, and Zillow tries to get the first person that's interested to buy it. So people are more breaking even or taking away less money from their sale on average, because it's just an automated system that's trying to just get the thing sold so they can make 20 grand off of somebody's 70.
Right.
So it's like, usually, like, when I tell clients that kind of stuff, they're like, okay, I'll talk to a realtor. It's like, yeah, I mean, think of realtors like lawyers. They're here to represent your best interest in a big transaction, a big purchase. Do you really want to do that yourself? If you were on trial for something you didn't do, would you
I
represent
use that
yourself?
analogy all the time.
Yeah, it's important. 'Cause
It's like, so would you go to, so the other guy's got a lawyer, so you don't need one. Say no one ever.
You don't need one.
I'm going to take that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, a realtor with 10 years of experience negotiating these things and getting the best benefit for their client, they're not going to take your best interest. So they're going to have their client's best interest.
Yeah.
Why would you represent yourself in that? They're going to
Yeah.
walk all over you in negotiations. So
But meanwhile, we use all these tools, to help us. The Homes.com, the CoStar thing. Like, I know that if they somehow gave Zillow a run for their money, because they're so cheap right now to belong to Homes.com, but if they did take over, you pay CoStar like $1,000 a month,
$850.
$850 a month. Can you believe that for
Well,
commercial?
okay.
So that they would turn around as soon as they got us all. They're sending us this stuff about Zillow, then also they'd be like $850.
No, there's a difference, Rob, because CoStar has the most up-to-date information, bar none.
Yeah, they do.
And so LoopNet, which they also
Yep,
own,
mhm.
but in order for me to use the professional version of LoopNet and put my stuff on there, I have to pay an extra fee
Yep.
per listing,
Right,
in addition to my CoStar subscription.
right.
Wow.
So the problem is like Joe Public can get on LoopNet. That's a public site.
That's right.
All the information there is crap unless I've updated it and I've actually paid to have my listing on there.
Mhm.
And so I'm running. You're saying, oh, your clients are going, I want this house, because they already have detailed information from Zillow, I guess, or enough detail. But LoopNet has erroneous information. They have outdated information. So when my clients go, I want to see this property, this property, this property, I'm like, I know those properties aren't going to work because I know the properties. You know, I know the market, and I'm like, no, that they don't have that. That's not available anymore. We're going to look at it anyway. So then they realize kind of quickly that LoopNet is not the way to go, and they
Well,
can't.
LoopNet makes you change, you have to change, they call me every month and go, if you don't make updates on your listing, we'll kick it off.
Fine with me, you know.
Well, I know, but that means that it's up-to-date information. They're
No, it's not
constantly
though.
calling me.
It's totally not, and I could show you. It's ridiculously not.
Okay,
updated.
okay.
And like they'll have old pictures, old. You know, it's
But
oh
at the end of the
that was
day-
painted 15 years ago. Why is that old picture still?
None of
on
it
there?
really matters because the perception is the whatever the customer thinks.
I think
Yeah, yeah.
LoopNet actually is.
Yeah.
They're lying to you. I don't know about how the houses thing works, but for commercial, they still have all the properties on there. They've got to. The problem is it's not current. So
Well, they call and ask me, is this still for sale? Is it still for
I
X
think the house
amount?
thing is different than the commercial thing.
No, it's not houses, it's commercial.
It's a
an
commercial
RV
thing?
park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got to be. It doesn't behoove them to take you off because then they're not really up to date on.
Well, they
the
threaten me
market.
every time unless I go in and update it.
Okay.
I
You
don't
should
know.
anyway, though. I mean,
maybe
you should
they
go in
won't.
and update it, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
You should if it's your listing, right?
I know, I do.
Yeah, but in any event, I'm just saying that I don't know how Zillow does it. There's so much more inventory with houses.
Oh,
than
yeah,
with
way more.
commercials. So they're
Yeah.
however they're doing it, but
They
CoStar.
pull it from the MLS.
Oh, that's
They
right.
don't do any
Gotcha.
updating or anything. They
That's
pull it
right.
straight
We
from
update the MLS.
every hour or whatever. They redo all their feed.
Really.
Yeah.
That's quite an algorithm they got going on over there, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, but no, CoStar is definitely the best, and nobody can get. I mean, you have to subscribe and you have to be a professional.
Yeah, yeah.
They can't if you were just like a guy off the street and you go, I want a subscription,
Mhm.
you can't. So, anyway,
Do you remember when AT&T was the only phone company in town?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And MCI and Sprint took them down?
Yep.
I'm telling you, Homes.com, they are not going to give up. They're
Oh, no,
they're
they
going to knock
won't.
Zillow out of top spot.
Oh, they are.
I think they will.
And
They're
they're
gonna
gonna
kick-
become just as bad as Zillow.
Exactly. It's going to be
They will.
just like the phone companies did.
That's why I'm gonna save that letter and throw it back in their face.
You need a CoStar with as much firepower as they have to
Yeah.
compete against this.
They got deep pockets.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do. So how else can you compete? You can't.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, none of it's gonna make any difference if they don't get the properties on their site exclusively and then distribute their properties
that
out.
letter.
Huh?
You know,
That's that
like the
letter.
Which
MLS.
That's right, that's
ironically is
right,
what
that's
the
right.
MLS used to be.
Right.
Have you guys been keeping up with the Compass and Zillow beef?
Hmm.
So Compass, the real estate agency, has started doing pocket listings, and so like they'll list a house and it'll only be on the Compass website. Because they saw what Zillow's doing and they're like, oh, Zillow has this great business model where they live off of buyer agent fees.
Yeah.
So Compass started doing that, and now Zillow came out with a policy where if you market a listing and it's not on Zillow within like a day, or at least not on the MLS, so it syndicates with Zillow. If you try to do a pocket listing after a day, Zillow will just take it off if you try to put it in IDX it later on.
Wow.
So like Zillow's like fighting back. Zillow and Compass are fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I wonder why they
Yeah.
do that.
I got
So
a red.
that's,
And Compass is just after.
Did you-
They're
Did you
going
wanna say
after.
How do they track
How do
it?
they
You
I
need
know?
have something.
They-
Okay,
there's
you
no
can
way
call
for
me
them.
or whatever.
You
if
know?
you
Yeah, I'll
want.
call you.
Okay, thanks guys, bye.
I think it's mainly just a Compass thing, and they're watching Compass.
They just keep.
Yeah.
But there's I did a deal in Wisconsin last year in Adina Real Estate. They're a big one right there in Wisconsin and Minnesota. and they were doing the exact same thing. All of their stuff is only internally listed, and then they'd hold it for like
Why would
30
a
days.
why
and
would a
then-
client, why would a homeowner? I don't know. What's the pitch? Hey, we're going to put it on our site, nobody else's.
That's what they're.
So it's going to get dozens of views.
I'm sorry, Rob.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that the door was locked and I just unlocked it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Because like it's not good what Compass is doing, because but at the same time Zillow's like, oh, it's for transparency and more show, but it's not. It's because like that's literally how Zillow makes their money is off of realtors.
Yeah.
Like the public goes, clicks on a button, the realtor pays them 40%. Like if we were to just go like the one thing like it would be neat is if PPR just didn't allow third-party IDXs unless you're a licensed realtor and own that site. And then like if
Well, they
everybody
are.
did that,
Zillow-
Zillow,
they are now.
Zillow would
And
get
then they
that.
just-
Yeah.
Now Zillow has a mortgage company, they're a
Yeah,
title
they
company, they're
they
real
got-
estate
yeah.
It's just
licensed
like the
realtors.
builders. They have one guy,
As a license.
so they can get on MLS. You know.
Right. Well, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of changes, and it's fun to see them. I mean, there is some fear, but what's that girl's name from Heritage again?
Karen.
Karen. She was just in here saying on the 20th or the 21st, they're having an AI class. So I don't know if you guys are into that AI. I don't know anything about it, but she says a lot of people don't know about it, how they can use it for real estate. And so they're having a class on how they can you can use it for real estate.
Well, they're starting to come out with AI property searches. So instead of you going into the MLS and saying, I want this, like all this criteria, you literally just type in what you're looking for, and then it'll look at all the photos
Oh,
and everything.
my
Like you could
goodness.
say, I want a property that's in the trees. Okay, well in the MLS you can't filter for that.
Oh,
but the
my.
AI can then look at all the photos and be like, okay, there's a bunch of trees in this. Okay, here's a property.
I want a property with a Felix the Cat clock on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Find it.
incredible.
So I know Bold Trail's about to
Felix
come out
the Cat.
with that. They sent me an update the other day. They're about to come out with that, and I was like, oh crap.
So can you pitch that to your, that's actually interesting. So if I could set up a search and just send the criteria input to the clients, can Bold Trail do that?
do what?
Instead of me putting in criteria of what that
Oh yeah,
client's looking
they
for,
have their own
I can
profile
just-
on your website
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
can go
they
in,
can
create
go
the
but they
in.
can
search.
change it.
Oh
Can
yeah,
they
Yeah.
change it
they can
from what I
change it.
put
They
in?
can add more
Oh, my
stuff.
goodness.
They can.
Yeah, all my
Oh, yeah.
people, they've gone in and changed their searches around if they're.
Should we not
looking.
set people up on PPAR searches anymore?
I don't. I think I got one person on there from 2 years ago.
And so it's way better on the Bold Trails.
Well, no, the MLS is still good if you want to get granular with things, because just like Zillow and everything else, it's very limited on what you can search for. There's not all these different filters.
Once they come
Okay.
out with the AI.
but once they come out with the AI, then
But-
totally.
Oh,
be
that's
like a lot more.
incredible.
So the MLS, right? If you put them on PPAR, they're only getting PPAR properties. If you put them on Bold Trail's like Zillow. So I have PPAR, RE Colorado, the Pueblo MLS, all that on there. So then they're getting all of the properties.
And do we have access to that because we're acquired agents, or do I have to?
You
do
have to-
that because Rob has those.
You
Or
you
you
get
Rob.
PPAR, but you have to subscribe. They just changed this. Well, not just, but maybe a year ago. They changed it because of when RE Colorado got bought out. They changed it to where it used to just be the broker could have their account and they can get it on the websites. Once they got bought out, they said, no, we're losing tons of revenue because all these agents are getting RE Colorado's feed, but they're not paying for it. And so now they're forcing every agent to now subscribe to RE Colorado to get the feed to their website.
Oh, so you're only getting the Bold Trail feed on your Bold Trails
On-
because you pay for
Yeah,
RE
'cause I pay
Colorado.
RE Colorado and Pueblo. And,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then our company site obviously has it because
Yeah.
we're on there. But
Right.
all of you guys would have to subscribe to RE Colorado.
How much is
and
RE Colorado?
$50.
$50 a month?
I think it's kind of exciting,
Is there an
actually.
annual?
No.
No, because you're not it's not your board.
It's not, oh, okay.
There's
so
no
it's just
board.
50
bucks.
a month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was 35 bucks.
So I mean,
a
if you're
month.
doing a lot of buyers,
Maybe
obviously
it
that
is.
makes sense. So for a dude like me that does 3 transactions a year, it doesn't. I can just have my conversation, send me what you find on Zillow, and then
Right. Oh yeah.
I think it's exciting to have the Bold Trail search system thing, because we don't get granular even on PPAR. I mean, people say, "Oh, I want a fenced backyard. I want this." I don't put fenced backyard, because what if there's a perfect backyard? We can just put a fence in. You know,
Well,
like
it also depends on what the agent puts in the MLS. You know, if you put fenced backyard and there's an agent who didn't put fenced backyard
It won't.
in that listing, then it won't pull up. You know, so.
But the AI thing is going to be incredible.
Yeah, the AI.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's a game changer.
So that is
So once
interesting.
Zillow comes out with that, and I'm sure all these sites are gonna come out with that soon. If
Oh,
sales
it's
come
amazing.
out
I
with
mean,
it.
what are the you guys do a lot of buyers? What are the percentage of buyers that you work with that find their own home? You know, of the handful that I've done,
100%.
they just call me and
All
say,
of them.
"Hey, I like this one. I want."
Found my-
Right, and they're going to be
Agent
doing
did
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when there's an AI thing, it can
Again, it
search
wasn't even in the MLS.
down to 3
Yeah.
properties, and that's all they need, and it has everything they want.
I've got a
So
guy.
there's a
that
good question.
was old
What's your
school.
value at that point?
I want a house.
The project manager, that's what it is.
You're going to be a project manager.
You know,
You'll
it's
have
no
to see
different-
how something comes
They
out.
still want you to negotiate.
You need me to
Yeah.
get you
I'm
into the
asking.
house.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm asking because,
And
like
then
you said, we've
I've
taken a
got great
haircut. We've taken a
inspectors. I'm
50%
gonna be there for
haircut
that. I'm
over
gonna
a decade.
I'm a
advise
master
you.
negotiator.
Well, it's like, why would
Yeah.
somebody use you
Yeah.
for a new build? You know, they got the whole process. They're building the whole
Oh,
house.
yeah,
Like,
totally.
Right.
They
we
use
lose-
you for the contract and negotiation.
So I
make
can
sure
sit there
that-
during the contract and ask a
Yeah.
couple questions.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't like that paragraph.
That's right.
Well, we can't change anything. We can't change it. Okay.
That's right. I got that on film.
Aren't you
too.
glad you have me?
Yeah. Well,
Dave
they
Downey
they
said
have me
that,
to-
everybody, on film. Did you guys hear that, Classic Homes?
Well, I just did a new build, and so in that scenario, I was just, you know, I made sure all of the appointments were all set right. They, you know, I told them, hey, we're gonna have this inspection, this inspection, this inspection. You probably want to do a normal inspection, you know. And then as we were going through, they didn't know what to look at for a new build, and so I caught tons of things that the new build, you know, need to fix, which they would have never found.
Right.
You know, like foundation stuff. They needed like 7 or 8 different patches on the foundation.
Oh,
you know,
Jesus.
and it was all in areas that they probably would never have looked at or whatever. You know, so that's where my value came in, is I kind of knew what to look for, where things could be missed,
Yeah.
and then again I told them to get a normal home inspection, which found, you know, 5 or 6
Yeah.
minor things, but you know, they found them.
Well, in the new, I mean, new builds just pitching, hey, you got a 1-year warranty, so we'll fix anything
Yeah.
after the fact.
yeah, yeah. So,
So, yeah.
but they
Customer
just felt,
service
they felt more
is-
comfortable being with me, knowing that,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I guess that's it. I mean, customer service is what we're really pitching.
mhm,
You know, knowledge and customer service. So.
Yeah, the home's going to sell itself, right?
mhm.
Between the price and condition and a combination of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not like, oh, well, it's not a Remax listing, so no one's going to say, hey, I just want, I want
Interesting.
5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, and it be listed with Remax. Said nobody ever, right?
Right.
So, it's the house. You just
Yeah.
got to present it.
Well, I'm excited
And
about all
keep
the
all the
changes, you know.
dominoes from
I mean, it's going to be fun to watch all this. Until I'm obsolete completely. I'm not obsolete.
But you'll
please.
never be, right? I mean, I guess
That's right.
I guess that's my point. There'll be a segment of the market that always wants that reassurance and that
Yeah,
hand-holding.
we'll
For sure.
readapt
There's a
and-
big
Well,
chunk of the market.
that'll be in the
it'll be
older
us.
generation. The younger generation won't care.
Yeah.
You know, because
Until they get burned.
Because you know, well, the way I explain it is, if you're having a conversation with somebody, the younger generation, and they don't trust you, right? They're gonna go to Google,
Yeah.
right? So they trust Google more than
Yeah,
they
more
trust
than
you.
they trust you.
So eventually, it's going to turn into where they trust AI more than they trust, you know,
Yeah.
whoever they're talking to. So a
Wow.
realtor. So then they're just gonna, you know, then a realtor will be obsolete because they're gonna trust an AI more than they trust an agent.
People already use
Yeah.
Google before they decide to trust somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, right.
I
Right.
watch
So-
a lot of like different debates and stuff, and they got AI things that are here pulling information for them while they're there, and they're just trusting it,
Right.
whether it's right or wrong. AI is just
Right.
going to show what's popular, not necessarily what's right.
Yeah.
Unless
Right.
your AI knows you and knows how you think and what you want to see, it's
So
it's going to be
But it's all-
marketing
it's-
of thought. That's
It's all
what
a
it
trust
is.
thing. You know,
It's
they trust
terrifying.
us better right now. But when the younger generation grows up with AI the whole time and they're doing AI, that younger generation, they're gonna be like, I don't need an agent. I I can just go ask AI, how do I buy a house? You know, what
Here's
are
your
some
5-step
things that I
process.
should look for on a house? Or let me take a video of the house, tell me what's wrong with it.
AI
You
will do
know?
a home inspection via video.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, it probably.
I already do that for my descriptions. I'll get on my little thing, go on the camera, and I'll say, hey AI, I'm gonna walk around, show you the house. I'm gonna explain a couple things, and I want you to write a description about it. And then,
That's
and then it writes,
incredible.
it just listens, and it's like, okay, and then it writes a whole description. I'm like, okay. You know?
The descriptions are incredible too. that
So I
they're
just
writing up.
asked Gemini AI, Google's AI, when will realtors become obsolete? It's got a whole laundry list, but in conclusion, November 17th, 2025.
That's funny.
It says, while the demand for real estate agents is expected to decline over time, it is highly unlikely that they will become completely obsolete.
Yeah.
So,
They'll have to adapt. I mean,
yeah.
They will adapt.
I don't know, because AIs will start doing the contracts, and it'll literally just say, how much do you want to offer? Okay, how do you want to take title? What does that mean? Oh, let me explain how that,
Yeah.
it'll explain it better than we all, because we know half of the contract, we don't know the full thing.
And I'd like to see AI.
We know each section
I'd like to
we
see,
fill out.
I'd like to see AI put up and take down a real estate sign.
But it's the same thing. It's like, why don't you just use a real estate attorney to fill out the contract? You know, like because they don't they
Right,
understand
yeah.
the science of it, but they don't understand the art of it.
Right, there is
But,
an
like,
art.
Yeah.
And then like the biggest thing I hear all the time is, oh, I don't need a realtor. I can find whatever house I need on Zillow. I'm like, okay, if you think finding the house is worth anything, like, no, like it's advice and negotiating. That's the only things you're paying me for. Like, chances are you're gonna find the house no matter how hard I look. Like, it doesn't matter who finds the house, right? Like, if you think that you can just go and like find a house and boom, that's the hardest part. Like, hey, go do it on your own, right? Contracts are on Dora. Print them out, represent yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I send them, that consumer advocate link about don't do a transaction brokerage, right? Get somebody to represent you, because like here's all the bad stuff that can happen with that and things like that. So then they see all that and they're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well,
easiest
that's
way
what
to
I'm
argue
saying.
it is just that cost point. It's like most people are like, well, I don't want to use a realtor because I want to pay 3%.
Yeah.
So okay, well here's stats that show on average without that you're buying the house for $20,000 more than you could have. Like,
Yeah.
why save $2,000 but then spend $10,000? It doesn't make any sense.
And
Yeah.
there was an
Don't step
investor
over
that I met the
dollars
other
to
day
get
that
the
I'm
pennies.
talking to now, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just represent myself, and I go right to the listing agent, and I just ask for 3% off." And I'm like, "You're an idiot, right?"
Yeah.
Because like they're still the realtor's probably still getting doing it for both sides. You just don't realize it.
They're still retaining their same 3%.
Yeah,
I-
and like
right.
that's
You
not
say
how you
that.
negotiate. Like if you walk in and say, "Oh, it's going to cost $5,000 to replace the carpet," sure, you can ask for $5,000 off. You can make a deal, but like, I mean, honestly, like I straight up told them, like if you're asking for 3% off, like you're an idiot. Ask for 6 or 7,
Yeah.
right? And like and it's easier to negotiate through another person than it is to negotiate with somebody yourself.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
And so like, and then I went through examples with like other investors that I've worked with before. Like some of them, like if you've done, 10, 20 deals, yeah, you probably don't need a realtor. Like go to Dora, print out the forms, do it yourself. But like before that, if you're doing like a deal here and there and you maybe only done a handful, like, I mean, I still need a realtor. Rob and Scott are my realtors because like there's always something that comes up and it's just like, what the heck, no matter how many
Right.
deals you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a realtor.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Every transaction is different.
Same with
Yeah,
Jason. Rob,
possibly
can you look
I-
over these
I owe-
contracts for me?
Hey, man, can you just look at that, make sure I checked everything right? Yeah. And I bought
If I
bought
need a
4
realtor
houses
and I
on
do
my
it
own before I
full-time,
had a
like,
real
you
estate
probably
license. I've gone to Dora and filled all those out. And
Yeah, right, yeah.
I
Well,
did
that's
it
what I'm
all.
saying. The younger generation will be obsolete at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Like people still trust us right now, but eventually they're going to trust AI a lot more than us. AI is going to get more advanced, and then we'll be obsolete. And then, like my kids, they probably won't even ever learn how to drive. They'll have a Tesla drive them to the house.
Yeah.
They'll get out. There'll be a little door that opens. They go in, or maybe there'll be virtual reality at that point where they.
Oh, that's
They don't even have to
crazy.
go to the house.
Like, they're living in the trees with a virtual reality thing. They think they feel like they're in a master bedroom.
but
I got an RUI.
Give it
Riding
15
under the
years.
influence.
I don't know how much we're actually going to be working.
But you talk about trust and like that. I closed a $700,000 purchase for somebody last week. He's already asked me for 4 referrals for different people. So you guys, once you establish that trust, your value then is in with our third party people to come through and
Right.
Yeah,
these
the
people
younger
will always
generation will
trust you.
just.
They're
Yeah,
always
I-
going to go, hey, who
Yeah.
do you recommend
I
for
need
this?
the best.
Yeah,
Best.
And so, yeah.
Well, so this is what I say about AI. The AI is so good that normally, if you're trying to find something, you would Google it and you'd have to read 10 articles to
Yeah.
find it. Okay, well, AI will read 1,000 articles in 30 seconds and give you the best answer. So the younger generation, they're just gonna, instead of asking you who's a
Yeah.
good painter, they're gonna say who's the best painter, and that's gonna research 1,000 people and
Yeah.
say this guy's the best. He's got 10,000 reviews. You know, that's the best guy. And so they're just gonna
That's
go
gonna
there.
change our
Or I've got a broken
business
pipe under my
model
house.
where you have
I
to
need a
have
plumber
Google
now.
reviews, You
Yeah.
have to have
Next thing you
all
know,
this.
they show up in 10 minutes.
I would love to see an AI successfully like get a deal to closing with an unrepresented seller and an unrepresented buyer that are both stubborn and use an AI. Or even if they're not stubborn, even if they're just normal, like get them to the closing. Like I don't see it.
Wait a
happening.
minute. You mean not stubborn is not normal?
Yeah, or even if they're just like not necessarily like stubborn, but especially if they're stubborn, like,
Right,
there's
oh,
no
yeah.
way, right? Because they're both like asking the AI things.
Well, and the
like-
AI will just work as a transaction broker.
yeah.
They won't advise anything. They'll just say, "Hey, they want this. Hey,
Brett
they
Finn's
want
already
this.
done, like,
Wow.
Hey, they want this. They want this." You,
Maybe,
oh,
yeah.
you really want the house?
They
Okay,
have
you gotta.
everything, and they
This
have
person
AI
has more
facilitating
leverage.
everything.
You know, are you willing to walk away?
Broker.
This guy will walk away.
Signatures,
You know,
that's
It's so cool that
Yeah,
Scott knows all
maybe,
this stuff. It's so cool hearing
So
that. I don't even think about that stuff.
Who's going to be
No.
on the hook for like E&O insurance? When like I just
brokerage.
talked to somebody from Texas that had 3 girls life-changing mental issues because of mold, and he sued the shit out of a realtor down there. And,
yeah.
I mean, unfixable mental
Yeah.
permanent
Like that.
damage to 3
If it's
little
AI
girls.
doing it all, it'll just be the brokerage. The brokerage will just have a $10 million policy or $100 million policy to cover all the transactions they're doing.
Good time to get into E&O though. You want to start?
Yeah, no shit.
Great time. The
Insurance-
risk is going to happen in the
insurance is
first
not
5
going
years
away.
of AI. You're going to make
No,
a killing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Insurance won't go away.
No.
No. Now you need internet,
I gotta go
cyber insurance.
AI will,
Sorry,
AI will not do HVAC work. It's
No.
not going to do electrical. Like I'm telling you,
I just
Trades
those
are
are the
already-
businesses you buy.
I told my
trades
kids
are
that
already
the
the
same thing. I'm like, you guys
Yeah.
are all looking at what to do, but you find something somebody else
I
can't
don't
or
know.
won't do.
I think it will.
You will
It
be
will.
able to.
Yeah.
You think you can do HVAC?
Oh, well, you see how they are 3D printing houses. So all they gotta do is figure out how they can 3D print all of that at
But
the
they
same
can't
time.
do the work. AI is not
But
going to
the
do
AI
the work.
can't do the work.
Well, have you seen Optimus, the robot?
Service,
You know,
service.
I'm
They
just-
first announced
It
that it's
knows
crazy to see how much
everything.
more
I'm
advanced it is
just
now, 2
saying,
years later.
like,
It's scary.
in 30 years, okay,
They'll-
not now, but
they'll
in
be able
30
to.
years, that thing is going to be so advanced.
But I don't know what your
Yeah.
income goals are, but I mean, I did a loan for a plumber. You probably see the same thing. Like just one dude in a van, $420,000 a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plumbers
Yeah.
are the highest paid people in America on average right now,
Yeah.
and the
Just
rest of
him
the
in a
United
van.
States is at 1/3 of the capacity of the trades jobs that it needs to sustain infrastructure nationally.
You know,
Oh
I-
yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
'Cause-
my
'cause-
brother's in trades and he's like 22 and he's making like 300 grand a year. He just started a year ago.
Wow.
My RV,
In
I
South
took
Carolina.
to get something done. $298 just to have a diagnosis done.
That's
Because
ridiculous.
that's what they're paying.
And they really just got that little plug-in. They plug in.
Yeah, exactly.
It gives them a code, you know.
Yeah, right. But the AI can do that. It will know everything about
The
the
AI knows
robot.
They
the
can't
Optimus.
change
But
the
they can't
pecs.
plug it in for
They
you.
can't change the pecs.
Right,
You
yeah.
make more money plugging it in, having the tool. If you secure, like, I'm the only one that has this tool that can read this computer. Yeah, the AI is doing all the work, but you're making the money because nobody else knows how to talk to the AI. It has to be trained.
Yeah, see, I thought about being a plumber, but it turned out to be a pipe dream.
Yeah. Well, hey, my plumber's named Mr. Pipe Dreams.
You didn't have the pipes for it. Or,
That's right.